Thanks very much. I'm not going to say anything. I'll do my first slide. Here it is. We're all born artists. The problem is, how do we remain so as we grow up, as we grow older? Which is a very good question. Pablo Picasso. So, why is that? Why, when we grow up, do we become less creative? This is Sir Ken Robinson, and in his TED Talk, he tells a very interesting story about his kids' nativity play. And in the nativity play, the wise men go up and they're giving their gifts, and the last kid forgets his lines, so instead he just says, "Frank sent this." The point is, kids are willing to give it a go. They're willing to make mistakes. Now, in education, that's me, by the way. Well, in education, the further you go in education, the less likely you are to make mistakes, the less you're allowed to make mistakes. And as a result of that, the less creative you're going to be. Now, as you go through the schooling system, everything is put into little boxes. And in none of those boxes, you're not allowed to cross out of any one area and into another area. You have to it's all very rigid. It's all very, wow, this is going really quickly. This is Shakespeare. So when I was thinking of that, I was thinking, okay, so in school, you're not allowed to ask the question, what does Shakespeare have for dinner? What car did he drive? So you never get an idea of his process. This is a completely fictional bar chart that I created. But you can see that maths is the most important and art is not very important at all in school. And the other thing about that is there's no design whatsoever in the school curriculum. While I was preparing for this, I asked a lot of friends what they thought about their career guidance teacher. And they all said that at the end of, they only ever met them at the end of their school career. So they never asked them what they're interested in. They only ever meet them before they leave, and they ask them, how are you doing with your CAO, etc. When I left school, I went for a job in a printer's. I brought my portfolio case. The printer told me he'd give me the job, but he thought I would be better off applying for art college, which I did. Got in, graduated, worked in Dublin, worked in Amsterdam, and then set up a design studio with my mates 7 years ago called red&grey Design. And we really believe in the value of graphic design and the value of visual communication. And not just that, but also in the value of design itself, in product design, in architecture, in the built environment. This is my baby, by the way, and also my daughter, Ruby. The chair, by the way, was Charles and Raheem's, which are these guys who are mostly known for their furniture design, but they also made films. They also created architecture, toys, lots of different things. And the US government approached them at some stage in the 40s and asked them to design a splint because they were experimenting with bending plywood. The splint that they designed ended up saving hundreds of thousands of lives in World War II, which is a great example. This is the design group IDEO. Were working in a hospital in Minnesota, and they came up with the idea of putting bicycle wing mirrors on the gurneys so that whilst the patients were being pushed around by the nurses, they could see the nurses themselves when they're chatting to them. Another idea was these are just whiteboard tables in an art collective in London, so they can scribble their ideas while they're sitting across from each other having coffee. So again, just simple ideas, nice, creative. These are posters in Amsterdam to stop people from throwing their chewing gum on the ground. I think we should have them in Dublin with politicians and stuff. So all good ideas and simple and with a sense of humour as well. So the question now is, how do we get these ideas across? How do we teach them to our kids? How do we teach them that kind of a process? That how to think like that, how to be innovative in the schooling system. How do we get that creative process across everything? We also need to teach our kids the value of design, and also I think what's really important, what we need to do is teach them that it's okay to make mistakes. In fact, it's essential to make mistakes, because if we're not allowed to make mistakes, then we're not going to create anything. This is a real chart, and it says that Ireland are 14th for registering for design and design-related industries in Europe, which is absolutely disgraceful. Finland, for example, 25% of their GDP is design-related. I'm going to end on a positive note, though. And it's 2020, and design is a major part of our society, and I'm on the board of the Design Council, and we're more innovative and we're more creative, and it's a great place to be. Thank you very much.